Hello, this is Mr. Huff, and I just want to go through this Arduino assignment. So you should be looking at this activity document and working through the various projects here. So what I want you to do is complete the activities and then complete the Canvas submission. So let's look at what this looks like. So let's just go through this document first. Make sure in your sketches you include these three lines. On each sketch, your name, the date, and the activity and objective. And on the activity, be really specific about chapter and the activity itself. So you've got a link to all of this, the same thing that you have in the book right here. So you have a digital copy of that. The first part is, save all your sketches. I'm going to have you share all of those with me at the end of this project. All right, here we go. The first one is the basic build. So if you get a kit and the robot is not assembled yet, this is what you need to do. And you've got several places where you have to go stop and do some coding to check things, and that way we make sure that everything's working as you go. We did have some problems on the first round where we assembled the whole thing without doing the code, and then we had to go back and take stuff apart and make adjustments. One thing I want to point out is when you put the servos on the frame, make sure the adjustment screws face toward the back so we can make adjustments to those without taking them apart. All right, at the end of this, there are a couple of conclusion questions, and that is the end of the build. All right. Right here is your first programming challenge, and this is going to be just making the robot move, just straight code, turning the servos off and on in different combinations. I want you to demonstrate in a program lots of forward and backward motions, including rotating, and there's 4 ways to pivot, so I want you to do lots of pivots where you pivot just a little bit and pivot aggressively. So just go through and make a program that has lots of motion and demonstrates all of these. So there's moving forward, moving backward, rotating, and 4 different kinds of pivots that you need to include in a wild combination. Think of it like making a crazy dance that your robot is going to do. The second assignment is going to be tuning for basic maneuvers. So basically you're trying to set it up to drive in a perfectly straight line and then turn perfectly 90 degrees left and 90 degrees right. And we'll have a little track set up next to the classroom where you can put a wheel on the tape and you keep the wheel on the tape through the entire motion. Some have pointed out that their wheel will move away from the tape during their 90-degree turns, but it stays on the tape otherwise. And then you have some conclusion questions here. The following challenges, I recommend these 3 for the third, fourth, and fifth challenge. However, if you want to go and do something else, here's some other ones you can try to look at. If you have another one you would rather do, let's review it just real quickly and make sure it's something that you've got the skills to do at this point and can troubleshoot it when things go south on you. At the end of this project, everybody's going to dump their code in this folder, and that way I have some examples of your code. That's why it's real important that you have this heading so I can tell whose is whose. If you need to know how to set up the IDE and download to the BOE bot, I've got a little sample here that you can download, and it goes through all the steps to get that to work and something to verify. So that's that part. Let me pause. In Canvas, I've been trying to come up with a way to make this sane when you look at it. So this is what I've come up with. So for the Arduino, this is your project assignment. So we have 4th period here and 6th period here. You do have different assignments even though they look very similar. So your projects is in the first column. You're going to find the link to the activity and that reminder about putting your heading on. And then just follow this through. If you built it, do this. If you didn't build it, you start here. So when you submit things in Canvas, I'm looking for examples of functional code. I'm not looking for all the code you did within an activity. All right. So for these, you'll go through and do activity one, activity two. Remember, activity three forward, you can choose an alternate or just follow my recommended process here. And these are all connected in this activity guide. These are the links to the Canvas assignments. Then all the way down here at the bottom, the last thing you're going to do for me in this is you're going to choose the most complex code that you did, and you're going to fully document it with pseudocode. It's like a writing assignment, so then you're going to finish these assignments here for that. There should be embedded videos that talk about what I'm looking for and the headers and that sort of thing. Okay. And then in the activity guide, it talks about the sketch dump or Arduino exemplars. Review your sketches, make sure you've got the correct heading, and then turn all of your sketches in there. Just drop them in the Google Drive folder. And that way I've got some examples to work with for next year, and I can show good examples and complex examples and bad examples and all that kind of thing. So that will help me develop this. So I do appreciate everyone helping me on developing this content, and that's all I have for now.